precious. Oh, so funny that you're watching. We're gonna be painting Gollum, and painting Gollum is a bit like dealing with him, you know, like tricky, obsessive, and oddly satisfying once you get it right. So in this guide I'm gonna show you how I struggled with painting his pale, clammy skin, picked out every bony detail of him, and trying not to lose my own sanity, or the precious, along the way. So I'm going to show you how I painted him, and I hope this video is of any help to you guys, because I was struggling with that skin tone. Let's get to painting. Now, since Gollum or Smeagol is going to have a pale body, it's good to start with a bright undercoat and work from there. Of course, you can use any color you want, but it might use an extra layer or two to create that bright, pale, sickly effect. Now for a base itself, the rocky base that is, I'm using Mechanicus Standard Grey. I figured it was easier to paint the base first because there's a lot of rock showing in between his fingers and toes, so I was afraid I would mess it up later on. So let's get that out of the way first. I'm adding some Nuln Oil to the base, and as you can see here, I added some modeling sand in between those rocks as well. But you can put in anything you want there. I just slapped some heavy Nuln Oil on there to create some darkness on that gray. Now make sure to let that dry, and we're going to be adding some different colors later on. Now as a second color, I'm adding some Agrax Earthshade here and there. Just dab it on and kind of spread it in the Nuln Oil while still wet, and that creates this nice transitioning color. I'm doing the same with some Athonian Camo shades to add some greens in there. A suggestion of moist, or whatever you would like to call it. A rock is never one color, is it? It's weathered and it's sturdy and it's... but still mostly gray, of course. So with some gray here, we're going to be highlighting that and create some sharpness in those rocks. At first I'm using a dry brush, but if you want some extra sharpiness to the very edges of those rocks, the pieces of rock, then you can use a tiny brush as well, of course. Some fine-tipped detail brush to get those tiny sharp edges in there. But a dry brush will do the trick. And because we haven't painted the body itself yet, you don't have to be too precise, and you can just go around, because most of it is underneath Gollum. Now in the end, I thought it was a bit too bright, so I added a tiny bit of Agrax Earthshade to the parts outside of the rocks, so the gravelly area around it, just to have it a very subtle, different color. And then it's time to continue with the body. Now I painted the body itself with a mixture of Bugman's Glow and Deepkin Flesh to create a nice, bright, palish, kind of pink base tone of the skin. To be quite honest, I think it could have been brighter from the start. So in the rest of this video I'm going to be toning it down, brightening it up, whatever you want to call it, to get my desired end result. But I think it's good to have some sort of skin tone base to start from, because in the end he was human at some point. I'm washing it with some Reikland Flesh Shade here. And I'm also applying some Athonian Camo shades to add some green, eerie base shading to his character before we continue highlighting. So this is just to build up those base colors, and we're going to be working from there. Now before I continued, I wanted to paint in the eyes, and for The first step, I'm adding some Black Legion here into the eye sockets. Of course, you can do so with a brighter variant. I think if you, for example, have some Carbour Crimson, you can make it more red maybe. I'm adding some in the mouth here as well, some blackness, so that the teeth will be more visible in the end. Now the reason I'm doing this black in the eye sockets is that when you paint in the actual white of the eye, then you have a tiny black line surrounding the eye, making it pop out a bit more. I like this kind of detail, and it really works. It does wonders for your eyes. Before we're going to paint the actual eyes, we're going to be painting some skin with the same mixture of Bugman's Glow and Deepkin Flesh, but this time increasing the amount of Deepkin Flesh. So we're going to be brightening it up. And as you can see here, I'm first kind of outlining where I want the brightness to be, and you can still see that Bugman's Glow shining through, which is not very flattering, not very nice, but we're going to work on that later on. So first I outline where I want the parts to be the brightest. Next I thin down my paint and I kind of blend the darker and brighter parts together. And that way you get a nice transition in colors. At least that works for me. Now I'm going to repeat this process a few times on this model by adding some rock art flesh to the mix we made before, so brightening it up but also giving it that sickly look. And I'm going to be increasing the rock art flesh for the next few steps. And for this final step here, I'm using pure rock art flesh with some Deepkin Flesh to add some tiny details. So for example, the knuckles, the elbows, the tip of the nose, the cheekbones, the top of the head, stuff like that. Mostly the bottom parts can be darker and the top parts will be brighter. And basically, depending on how bright you want that skin tone to be, you can keep adding some Deepkin Flesh to the mix. But still have that little bit of humane color, the pink color underneath. Now for the cloth, I'm using dried bark to get that base color on. The bottom part is quite hard to reach, but take your time and you'll get there. Next we're going to be highlighting that, and for that I'm using Gorthor Brown. Paint in those lines, give it some edge highlight here and there. And if you want, you can brighten it up even further by adding, for example, some Palette Witch Flesh to the Gorthor, but I decided that this was good enough for me. And now for the most challenging part, which is of course the eyes themselves. He has this beautiful big blue eyes. Now we painted the black in the eye sockets before, and with some Palette Witch Flesh I'm painting in the actual white of the eye, but it can be quite large because Gollum has these big beautiful eyes that really speak and that really work and that make him so kind and friendly looking at some points in the story at least. So that's really worth paying attention to. I'm also using this Palette Witch Flesh to paint in the tiny few teeth he has left in his mouth. Just pick out those tiny details there. It's quite hard to see when you have painted it black before. And now it's time for the blue of the eye. So I'm using Thousand Suns blue to create a nice bright blue. So even though tiny as he is, those eyes are really, really visible. Now make sure to thin down your paint just enough. When I started doing this, my paint was a little bit too thick, but when you thin it down too much, it's going to be watery and runny, and you don't want that. And then final details, the hair. I'm using some Skavenblight Dinch to paint these dirty grayish hairs. Skavenblight really does the job, and if you want you can highlight that, but this, for me, this works. It's the dirty is gray that you're looking for with a creature that's been living outside for who knows how long. There's some hair dangling alongside his head here as well, close to his ears. So just pick out those details. And all that's left now is the scars on his back. Now I'm giving it a base color with a mixture of pink, horror and Bugman's glow. Now these scars, they're not fresh, but still very visible, so you don't want them to be too bright, but more than visible enough on this body. It's kind of hard to see where they actually are, which part is a muscle showing or which part is a scar, but we're getting there. And then with some pure pink horror, I'm just highlighting what we painted before. Just touching the very tips or edges, for example, of one of those scars. Just touching it up very gently. And here's the final result for Gollum or Smeagol. Now this is a perfect addition to the Shelob we painted before, and I really enjoyed painting this iconic Lord of the Rings character. If you like this kind of comment, please consider subscribing to the channel and leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And also consider checking out my Patreon page, as I'll be painting a lot more and different games there as well. And I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos. Bye bye!